Once upon a time, a group of intrepid travelers, adventurers without any knowledge of the cause they were throwing themselves into, arrived in Mostar. The soaking heat of Mostarian summer was filled with emotions, excitement, and willingness to live stories that would be worth writing a book about. Probably a rare combination of fear and joy were bound together into everyone's mind. The great thing that they had not thought of was the fact that those who had arrived there before had, with 1 year of advantage, the capacity to change their lives. They liked to call themselves the Love Generation, a term which was as ridiculous as it sounded to the intruders, whichever amount of truth it held within itself. Because if there was a reality that could be affirmed without a doubt, was that the so-called Love Generation had so much love to give to their firsties that they could not hold it together, to the point that it oozed through their skin pores, just like pimples. And hell, the Love Generation learned very soon how to take care of the new arrivals. They showed them all the cool cafes and the best places to get beer. They told them how to get to school and explain all the shortcuts that would make their lives easier. I guess the best is to start from the beginning though, and the beginning of their story together had a dusty rugby field on a Sunday morning, and sponges that were soaked and squeezed on each other. A strange metaphor of the way they would eventually try to squeeze the time left with each other. But what am I supposed to do if not talking about these moments that made the year memorable? Moments. Moments. Who would have imagined that chocolate could be the key to so many stories? Speaking of keys, have you seen mine? I'm locked out again. Anyway, excuse the interruption. As I was saying, stories. The stories we tell, the stories that were told, the stories we made and the stories we forgot, and the ones we'll remember. Their memories together were not much, because there were many, and the town was big, and no one was ever at the same spot. But oh, the memories together. There was this one time when ones mocked the others, and laughter ran through the valley. Clothes were stolen, emails were overflowing, and everyone had a lot of fun. They gave it a ridiculous name. I don't really understand what the thing with all the ridiculous words and expressions that they had everywhere was. But it took time and preparation to make these things happen. Probably that is why they were not that common. The third gathering they managed to have all together would not happen until the end of the first half of their time. It was cold and snowy. The walls had paper flakes because for some reason it made everything cozier. Everyone cried that time, firsties and second years, because the songs they sang were beautiful and time was running out of their hands. What else to say? I guess that I will miss the food feasts and the stress that they always create. They would work for hours, and they really managed to put up cool things on the stage. They would also disappear, going on hitchhiking trips or taking long bus rides to go to places that most people do not even like. The residences would become quiet and strange during those weekends, in which I would also try to escape. There are many things to say about this second-year generation. There are some tall and some short, some who study, and a couple who don't. There are bakers and writers and poetry slammers. They are all very smart, whether it's when it comes to play music or to do math. They like nice weather, chocolate cake, coffee and tea. They are very different and very similar. They have everything that they need, and nothing seems to be enough. They are ambitious, and they always want more. The love generation have redefined what it means to love, to care, and to be a house mom. For all the troubles that they have caused, they have compensated with moments of smiles, happiness, and laughter. With sleepless nights and sick days that were too healthy for my like. Many moments that will always be in my heart. Who would have thought that a year or two can pass by in the time it takes to blink? One, and then it is gone. It is quite funny how once upon a time becomes a long time ago when it was really yesterday. Still, I wouldn't change this story for the world. So this is the story of the second and last year of the love generation. They still have a long way to go.